I'm glad he set our minds at rest that he could get the bottle open.
It worked.
Yes.
Result. Absolutely.
Shall we forge ahead with the weather?
Shall we?
Shall
yes.
Yeah. It's been chilly, hasn't it?
Yeah. If that got you hot under the collar, I'm about to cool you all down. Yes, as Andrea said, the weather has been very, very cold. In fact, parts of Wales this morning woke to an awful lot of fog and an awful lot of frost too, and there is more of that to come over the next few days. But there will be some sunny spells by way of compensation, but we are at that time of the year where we are just feeling the chill. And there's a reason for that. Now, not particularly chilly, I think it's safe to say, over the next few days, but by the time we get into the coming weekend, you can see the air turns blue. The jet stream sinks southwards, allowing a blast of cold air to work its way in from the Arctic. So that means temperatures are certainly going to feel fresher than they have done recently. Now then, there is a little bit of fly in the ointment. So for the next few days at the very least, high pressure dominates. So that keeps things largely fine and settled. You can see it dancing around out towards the west of the UK. And then by the time we get into the coming weekend, it moves ever eastwards, and that allows frontal systems to work their way in. Now, at this time of the year, of course, cold air and wet weather, wherever the two meet, we do tend to get something of a wintry mix. So there's a possibility next week we could see some wintry flurries, but we've got a lot to get through first. So before anybody panics, the wintry element is most likely above the hills and mountains in the north, which actually is where it should be. At lower levels will be okay. Just a little bit on the chilly side.
Yes, it does feel like it's just plummeted quite suddenly, hasn't it?
It's almost winter, absolutely.
It is that time of year, as you always tell me. Yes.
Well, we are certainly feeling the chill out there at the moment. A little bit of a breeze remaining overnight through the Irish Sea. So coastal areas, temperatures won't drop quite as low as they will do elsewhere, but we're looking at values of around or possibly just below the freezing mark further inland, and clear skies in more sheltered rural spots. So as with this morning, many areas could wake to a touch of frost and possibly some rather dense pockets of mist and fog through the valleys, the usual prone spots. And the sunshine now weakening all the time. So for many, that fog will linger for quite some time. So it could well feel quite gloomy as we wake to Wednesday morning. But the frost will melt away and we'll see lots of blue sky. The sunshine, like today, turning a little hazy during the course of the afternoon, with a cold front starting to throw more cloud at us into the afternoon. But for the bulk of the day, fine and dry, some lovely spells of sunshine, and yet again feeling chilly. Highs of just 10 or 11 degrees, a couple of degrees below the average really for the time of year. Now then, through Wednesday night and into Thursday, the cloud that you can see on the map will effectively work its way southwards. So temperatures through Wednesday night possibly not quite as cold thanks to that cloud cover. And then for Thursday, another dry day, but possibly a little greyer with some rather dense patches of mist and fog too. But you can see the temperature still struggling, 11s and 12s. All very seasonal, feeling frankly as it should do at this time of the year. And the high pressure largely dominates then as we head into the end of the week. But there are frontal systems waiting in the wings that will sink southwards during the coming weekend. So a mixture of sunny spells and possibly some showers, with something perhaps a little wintry on the way for next week.